What is the first level? The first level is beginner level 1. Okay. Beginner level 1. Now ये जो diagnosis है, इसका मतलब है how to identify that you are at beginner level 1. Okay. You can understand simple English sentences, reading and oral. Okay. Auditory, you can hear and listen and understand simple English sentences, and your oral communication is limited to basic conversations. How are you? I'm fine. How is the weather? It is very cold. Okay. ऐसे. But you experience a lack of confidence in formal scenarios. Business meeting में client के साथ email करना in a business meeting, or emailing a client, or talking to a company, a corporate client, writing to a CFO or a business owner, a foreigner, a senior lawyer who practices at the High Court or the Supreme Court, okay, or before judges when you're arguing in English, okay, especially at High Court, Supreme Court, and tribunals. Even though and many times it will happen that you may be very smart, you may identify that the other side's argument has this problem, but because of lack of confidence, you are frequently unable to point it out. So you are right, but your articulation is not good enough to point it out owing to lack of confidence. Okay. Or there's a block in expressing what you are thinking. तो आपने सोच तो लिया बट स्टॉप हो गए कि अरे कैसे बताऊं. Okay, that happens to you. Your written communication is not comprehensive. Usme there are grammatical errors, and your intention is often not communicated to the other side. तो आप बोलना कुछ चाहते हो और आपका इंटेंशन कुछ और होता है और एक्चुअली राइटिंग से कुछ और कम्युनिकेट हो जाता है. A lot of people misunderstand what you wrote because there are ambiguities in your writing. Okay. Several important aspects get missed out in your communication, whether it is in email, contracts, petitions, or client memos. This is the usual interaction that a lawyer has, right? You will write an email, you will draft a contract, you will prepare a court petition or a client memo. Now, this is due to underdeveloped English language skills. Okay. Your reading speed is very slow, around 200 words per minute or less for comprehension. Okay. Like you are reading at 200 words per minute or less. So what happens is that as a lawyer, you are reading every day, you have to read so much content, right? So many texts, judgments, updates, your client, other sides documents, clients documents, big contracts. So it takes you a lot of time to read and understand all these documents, especially case laws, contracts, and documents filed by the other side. Your typing speed may also be very slow. So what happens is that every day it takes you a huge amount of time to complete tasks. Managing your schedule, everyday schedule, and work life is difficult. Also, at the same time, you're not being able to convert enough clients. So there's a lot of struggle. Okay. You do not have confidence to create any content or post on social media. So you experience कि मेरा कोई brand नहीं है. I don't have a brand. Nobody knows me. I'm still a very junior lawyer. Why will people give me work? This is very heightened because there's no profile that you've built for yourself. You don't post content. People don't engage with you. Now, this is your next breakthrough. Okay. Listen to it very carefully. You will need to learn how to read and comprehend short contracts, notices of various kinds, petitions. You will need to write more detailed emails. Okay. You will need to write more comprehensive advice for clients. When clients give you work to write a memo or give you research that, okay, give me research on this. A lot of times clients say that I want some research on international data protection laws. Okay. And I need an Indian lawyer to help me with that research. So if your email, if your memo, if your research note is not comprehensive, that's a problem. Sorry. So at this stage, you need to write more comprehensive emails. You need to practice that. That's going to be your next breakthrough. What will it do? It will improve your self-confidence drastically. And I'm going to go to beginner level 2 now. Okay. Okay. What does beginner level 2 look like? You are better than level 1, but you frequently hit roadblocks. What are these roadblocks? Let's see. You can have impromptu oral conversations. You know what is impromptu? Immediate, on the spot. Okay. You can have oral communication spontaneously without learning, thinking. You can have it very comfortably. You can participate in conversations on new subjects. Okay. Without mugging up, without learning from a script, without memorizing lines. but you make errors and mistakes while speaking, and you are aware of it. Okay, but you can have conversation, but it is erroneous. All right. So you're not able to explain abstract ideas in English, though you can answer a question. Okay, so do you get the difference? Subtle difference. You can articulate your thoughts orally to your peers, and peers meaning to other lawyers, to to people in your family, friends, relatives, in your network, to clients, all of them. Okay, in informal scenarios, but in professional scenarios, what happens? You are hit by nervousness and you fumble. Yeah, in professional scenarios, you will fumble. So some of you may identify some traits of beginner level 2 also. You can read short documents written in simple English with full comprehension, contracts, petitions, and some case laws. Okay, but they have to be short, like 8 pages, 10 pages, that much you can read. Sometimes, when you have to read a long case, it takes you a lot of time, but only exceptionally you read that. So what happens is that you understand, if it's a difficult thing for you to read a big contract or a big case, and a client gives you work, then you will struggle with it, and your output will not be as good as it can possibly be. Your drafting skills now have improved, but you experience difficulty in drafting bigger documents which are exceeding 5 to 6 pages, because either it is inaccurate, there is some mistake in your drafting, page 2 may be inconsistent to page 8, something that you wrote in page 3 will not be okay with, will not fly with page 7. Those kind of things happen frequently. Okay, with longer and complex documents, your reading is difficult. You struggle with reading them, and your comprehension decreases. So you can understand a 6-page case easily, but you struggle with understanding a 25-page case. Long judgments, jurisprudence textbooks, academic articles, long legal opinions sent by law firms, or large high value contracts. These are the documents that you struggle to read and understand. It is difficult also to identify central idea in complex documents. What do I mean by this? If there is imagine you read 8 pages of a book by John Rawls. Now, what is his central idea in that, behind what he's saying? If a judgment has, you've read 10 pages of a 20-page judgment, what is the issue that they're talking about? If somebody has written a long email to you, what is the real problem that they have? What is it they're explaining? You will find difficulty in understanding that. Okay, and you may have to read and reread a document to understand it. Communication of a complex idea in writing is very difficult. It takes a long time to write things down. So if you write an article in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, and you have to spend like 5 hours every day to do it, then that means you may be in this phase. Okay, then certain communications to a client or a judge will land differently from how you intend. So you want to protect your client's interest, but somehow you realize that you're saying something very legally true, but the judge gets offended. Okay, that can happen from time to time. You are unable to identify the repercussions or implications of an argument or an amendment. Okay, or a regulatory clarification. Clarification says X, and 5 or 6 implications may follow, but you may only be able to identify 1 or 2. Okay, so that means that there will be gaps in how much you are able to pick up, and so the advice you give your clients, that will be not full but partly, it will be very partial. Okay, then in the courtroom your performance would be slightly better, but only in situations where the matter is simple. Clear argument is there, clear case law is there, black and white facts are there. There you will be very confident. Black and white facts, good evidence, clear case law where needed, you're very good. But in other situations you will struggle. You will not be having the ability to invent arguments in your client's interest. Appellate court work, high court work, uh, Supreme Court work, all of that will be difficult. Briefing senior lawyers will be very difficult. Okay, and where the law is gray, you will struggle. You will not be able to create a persuasive argument. You will do some filing, but the argument will not be persuasive. If you are an independent practitioner, what will happen at this stage is that You will say yes to everything the client wants, everything they come to you with. Why? Because right now self confidence is still on the lower side, so you don't want to lose the client. But what will happen is you'll say yes to everything, and even things you can't provide, and you'll and there will be mistakes in setting expectations for clients. How likely is it that I will if a client asks, how likely is it that I will win this case, or that how likely is it that the other side will accept this? You will not be able to clearly say, that this is how strong this strategy is. I can't guarantee it, but these are the past few times it has worked, and if this happens then it will not work, but in other scenarios I'm expecting it to work. Like that, you will not be able to explain, you will struggle to do that. Okay, so you will say yes, and then you will struggle to deliver in certain occasions, and you will find out that despite being innocent and hardworking, clients will be frustrated with you, and you may be frustrated with yourself. Okay, limiting your scope of work is going to be proving challenging. So when a client says, I want a retainer and you want to do everything for me, all my legal work, 20,000, you will not be able to exclude, you will not be able to say, okay, I'll only do 10 hours of work, these are the first few things you need, and for any litigation work, I may need to, or for trademark filings, I may need to brief a local counsel, or an IP lawyer, or for incorporating your company, I need a CS also. Their costs will be extra additional. Their out of pocket costs and filing fees will be additional. All that you will struggle to do. Okay. So again, that means your profitability will suffer. You will overpromise and underdeliver. If you are an in-house counsel, what will happen is that in-house counsels, meaning lawyers working inside the company, they have to coordinate with business teams, a lot of tech team, sales team, uh, CEO, co-founders, they have to coordinate with them. So if you are an in-house counsel, lack of communication skills will lead you to frustration, because when you coordinate with other teams, there will be a problem. Sometimes there will be gaps in communication. You will not be able to communicate exactly what you need, so they will do something else from what you need them to do. There will be a risk or a consequence on the company. Maybe there will be potential tax violation, potential violation of another law, all of that. And there may be mistakes in allocation of responsibility. You may say that the sales head should make sure that he doesn't overpromise this, and you will realize that actually something else has happened. Okay, you will have mistakes. You will tell the salesperson that you give the commercials, I'll do the legal, but you will find that something else has happened in the outcome because of inaccurate allocation of responsibility. So you're improving right now, but you're being stretched on all fronts. It's like you're being pulled in all directions. You're experiencing frustration, exhaustion, all of that.